Hey, what's up you guys? I am Missy Renee, and in today's video we're going to talk about how to manifest the big things. So if manifestation and conscious creation are topics that you're interested in learning more about, then definitely do not forget to subscribe to my channel and hit that bell icon so that way you're notified when I release new videos every week. If you're interested in more resources such as one-on-one coaching, I will have all of that down in the description box below, along with a number of other helpful resources, so definitely don't forget to check it out. And this video comes as another subscriber request, and this is something that is actually incredibly common. So this video is long overdue because we're going to talk about how to manifest those bigger desires, those things that you ultimately want and ultimately dream of. Because for a lot of people, there seems to be that wall, almost like a barrier between your actual desires and the bigger things versus being able to manifest smaller, significant things when you're trying to test the law. And this can be absolutely infuriating. I certainly remember what it was like when I struggled greatly to get the things that I really wanted, even though I was able to manifest smaller things on a pretty consistent basis. So fear not if this is happening to you. If you are wondering how you can go about manifesting the things that you truly desire, then definitely stick around to the end of the video because we're going to talk about how to manifest those bigger things, what exactly might be holding you up, why this is happening, and I'm going to give you guys some tips to help remove that barricade so you can finally manifest whatever it is that you want. But before we get started, I just want to give a quick shout out for everyone who joined me last Saturday for my live Q&A session. I had a bunch of fun. I was happy to join you guys. And if you're interested in joining me for further live question and answer sessions, definitely be sure to check out my membership group, the Conscious Creator Society. In this membership group, you're going to have access to a ton of exclusive content, including all of my previously recorded workshops, a new workshop with me every month on a variety of manifestation topics, a community forum where you can talk to me and ask me questions, along with the live Q&A sessions every other week, and a bunch more helpful resources to help you along your journey. I will have the links down below with all the information to sign up, and for the remaining month of February, for those who sign up in this time frame before the end of the month, you're going to get 50% off your membership costs for life. So definitely be sure to take advantage of this offer. Click below to get signed up, and I will see you there. So a very common frustration for a lot of people when we're new to manifesting is that we tend to see progress in the smaller things first. We tend to see progress when it comes to manifesting those small items that we use to test the law. But when it comes to the bigger things, when it comes to our desires, we don't see any movement whatsoever. We may have gone through the list and checked everything off. We may feel confident in the law. We may feel like we're doing everything to a T. We're imagining every night in the state akin to sleep. We're making sure to check our mental diet. And we're seeing things show up that give us the proof and show us that the law is real. And yet, when we try to manifest the bigger things, crickets. And I know how infuriating this is because that was my life for a very long time. So rest assured, you're not alone if this is happening to you. This happens to a lot of people, especially when you're new at this. We may have manifested 100 pink butterflies and 1,000 free cups of coffee, but our damn SP is still not or anywhere to be seen, or we're still broke, or our business has still not taken off yet. So what in the hell is going on here? The biggest reason that this happens is because you have whatever it is that you desire up on a pedestal. You're looking at whatever it is that you desire as something in a much bigger scope, and you're looking at it like it's this daunting task, and you're not sure if you're able to do it, and you're constantly questioning yourself. And if you watch my channel, you'll know that these kinds of ways of thinking and looking at something is coming from a place of lack. The thing that we really need to understand about manifestation, no matter what it is that we're trying to manifest, is the law works for everything in the same way. There is nothing more complex or extra work needed when it comes to manifesting, say, a specific person versus manifesting finding a quarter on the ground. No matter what it is that we're trying to manifest, we do it in the same way. The law works for everything equally. It doesn't matter how big or how small. It is all going to come down to your personal beliefs and your assumptions and any resistance that you might carry depending on your concept of yourself and whatever it is that you're trying to manifest. The only difference between our smaller manifestations and those bigger desires are two things: the degree of resistance or doubt, and our confidence or believability that something is possible. Those smaller goals, those smaller manifestations, the things that you're doing to test the law, come to you quicker and with less effort because it feels perfectly natural and normal for it to happen in your life. It's not out of your scope of reasoning to manifest a cup of coffee or manifest a text message or a phone call from a friend. Those are all things that you're not going to be carrying a whole lot of resistance around. It's not going to be unfathomable or doubtful that you are able to manifest these things because these are things that you can see happening in your day-to-day, no problem. But when it comes to the bigger things, when it comes to RSP or manifesting money, that is when we're going to start freezing up and tripping over ourselves and doubting ourselves and overthinking everything because it doesn't feel normal and natural for you right now to imagine your SP is back or to imagine that you're a millionaire. The trap that many people fall into time and time again is that they approach manifesting those bigger things as if this is something that they need to work harder towards or that they need to work harder to get. It's with these bigger things that it looks like you have to climb a freaking mountain in order to overcome this hurdle. And this stems back to the fact that a lot of people look at manifesting like it's something that you have to do in order to get a certain thing. A lot of people are still stuck on the notion that they have to use the techniques to get whatever it is that they want. They have to work hard at something because it doesn't feel normal and natural, and you don't believe that it can come effortlessly to you. And to the degree that you feel like you need to put in the work to manifest something, the more resistance that you're going to have against it. It boils down to the fact that you're not completely confident in your ability to manifest that big thing because of the beliefs and assumptions and expectations that you may carry. You still have that SP up on that pedestal. You still are looking at that situation like it's bigger than you. And if you are doing this, you need to take a step back and realize that you are God and nothing is bigger than you. No one or no thing is greater than you. So by craving it, by wanting it, by obsessing about it, by overthinking it, by trying to work hard in order to get whatever it is that you want, you're effectively rejecting it because you cannot be living in the end and craving it at the same time. This is also known as being double-minded, and this is something that we especially need to be careful and watch out for because virtually everybody does this when we're new. So what are some things that we can do to overcome this? What are some things that we can do to get ourselves into a place where we're not feeling like we're having to struggle to get the thing that we want? The first thing I suggest is to stop looking at it like it's a big manifestation. You do not want to form the assumption that some things are harder to manifest than others. You don't want to form the habit of thinking that something is bigger than you, because believing that something is bigger or rarer or not as likely to happen, anything like that, is only going to cause more resistance. So let go of the notion that there's bigger or smaller manifestations. They're all the same. The same rules apply. There is nothing different that you need to do when you're manifesting that cup of coffee or when you're manifesting your SP. Because when we are acknowledging that something is bigger, we are acknowledging that that thing is on a pedestal and that thing is a challenge and that we have to do something in order to get it. We have to work harder in order to obtain it. So we need to drop the notion entirely of anything that alludes to it's a bigger challenge or that it's something that you need to work harder to get. Because whatever you accept as true is going to turn up to be true in your world. So you want to make sure that you're approaching manifesting anything the same way, and that anything that we try to manifest is easy and effortless. When we are able to finally realize that there is no such thing as a big or small manifestation, that's going to drop a lot of resistance right there. The second thing that I would recommend to do in this situation is to really take some time to be aware of the thoughts and feelings you're experiencing throughout your day. I know I've gone on and on about self-observation and the importance of it, so I'm not going to dive too much in this video. I've already made a separate video about the self-observation, but if you have not seen that video, and if you want a deeper understanding of the importance of observation, I'll leave the link for that video up here, and I'll also have it down in the description box below. But it's so important that we are mindful of the things that go through our mind throughout the day. And I would suggest that you start here first, even before you try to dive into the techniques, even before you try to dive into manifesting that money or that SP. And the reason that I say this is because it is so imperative that we are very keenly aware of what exactly we are accepting as true throughout our day-to-day. What are we accepting as facts and reality? And it is very important that we are very honest with ourselves. Even if it makes you uncomfortable, even if it's not the easiest pill to swallow, we need to be objective and take a good hard look at what is going through our mind throughout our day-to-day and what we are accepting, what we are allowing, and what we are approving to take place in our lives. Because that's effectively what we're doing all the time. We don't want to hide our true feelings about a specific topic just because we're worried that it's going to interfere with our manifesting. We don't want to suppress anything. And when we're not observant and when we're not paying a close eye and attention to the things that we're accepting in our day-to-day, this is what happens. We wind up suppressing and not paying attention to the things that we're accepting as true, thus allowing them to manifest and continue to build resistance and continue to keep things at bay. Because you want to see the cause and why you're in this situation in the first place. And the only way that you're going to get that clear picture is if you are taking that objective look in the mind. What's going through the mind throughout your day-to-day. You want to pay attention to all that self-talk. You want to pay attention to all those arguments that you're having in your mind with SP. You want to take note of the reactions throughout the day-to-day. You need to become aware of everything that you are accepting as truth, accepting as reality, all of those things that you say to yourself, because this is what manifests. All of those types of thoughts and all of those inner feelings and all of those inner conversations all have an effect, and they're all going to take a toll on your manifestation practice. And it's those conversations and it's the reactions and it's all the mental activity that is going to show you why your manifestation is delayed, why it's not showing up. Because again, you cannot be in two states at the same time. You manifest based on the state that you're dwelling in, and you can determine the state that you're dwelling in from the mental activity in your mind throughout the day. So if you're thinking all these thoughts, most of the time not even consciously aware of it, it's easy to see how things can slip through the cracks and fly under the radar, and then you're left frustrated as to why things aren't showing up for you. The goal here is to see the patterns and to see how things have formed and to see exactly how you have manifested everything all along, thus further proving to yourself the power of your mind and how you have manifested everything thus far. For all the big things, for all the little things, and everything in between, it is all the product of your imagination. So do not skip this part. I promise you, you will have much faster, much more tangible, and long-lasting results if you really take that self-observation to heart. Give yourself the full picture and give yourself that confidence that you're going to need in order to manifest something that you may have trouble grappling with right now. The third tip that I would recommend if you are struggling with manifesting those bigger things is to try to do it in steps. Now, what do I mean by this? Now, there are some people that have no issues with being able to go straight to the end of their desired result, to that imaginal act where you are married, or you're a loving family with kids, or you already have your successful business, you're already a millionaire. And if you have no issues with going there and dwelling in that state, then by all means, keep living in that end. Go all the way to the end. But if you are somebody that is struggling with that notion of trying to imagine you and SP together when there's been no contact for months, this could be a tad bit more challenging. So if this applies for you, try taking smaller steps. Try taking it in bites. Instead, try to resonate with the feeling of the two of you talking again and the two of you being cordial again. Or if you're trying to manifest money, try to think of an amount that feels reasonable and that resonates with you. For most people, trying to imagine that you are now making $1 million a day can feel like a bit of a stretch. So instead, try to imagine that in your new business, you're making $1,000 a day. Because for most people, that's not outside of the scope of reason. Try to find the sweet spot that will resonate with you. And this is going to be different for everybody. So this is just going to take some internal feeling and playing around with this concept. We always want to try to go to the end, but if we are having a very difficult time with getting ourselves to fully resonate with that end state, then try to find somewhere that is going to resonate better for you. Try to find something that's going to be a little more believable and easier for you to swallow and easier for you to digest. Now, I know you're probably thinking, wait, Missy, isn't this messing with the middle? Don't you not want to do that? Aren't you not supposed to think of anything except going straight to the end and being that millionaire or being married to your SP? Well, no. Messing with the middle is essentially when you're trying to constantly figure out the how, and you're constantly trying to figure out when and where it's going to happen, and you're constantly conditioning your desire. Messing with the middle basically means that you're trying to figure out how it's going to go about showing up in your world. We don't ever want to worry or stress about the path that gets us there. We just want to imagine that we are now there. So if it seems a little more tangible for you to take this into steps, then by all means do so. If you two have not spoken in months, then imagine that you two are now on a coffee date, laughing, enjoying yourselves, because that's going to feel a bit more natural, isn't it? It's not going to feel so out of touch with reality. And this is what you need to look for. You need to look for the natural feeling. You want to look for the feeling of it being effortless. The path of least resistance is always the path that'll get you there the fastest. When you can approach your desires in a way that is more believable, you're going to smash through that resistance right quick. Because this is how you're manifesting all the time anyways. The things that you are manifesting feel natural and effortless to you, and that's because it is. You manifest the things that you don't even think twice about. It feels so normal to you. It's second nature to you. So you want to take this approach with whatever it is that you're trying to do. So take a moment to really just play around and see what feels the most natural to you. And this is going to be different for everyone, but just see what resonates. And again, this goes hand in hand with the observation. See what it is that feels the best and feels the most effortless. Because as you keep building up the confidence, as you keep building up your strength and the faith in the law, this will become more effortless and second nature in no time. And lastly, just remember at the end of the day that we are constantly the ones in control here. We have the power in every moment of every second of every day to decide where we want to go next. We decide in every moment what we decide to focus on, where we place our energy, and where to go next. And when we can accept this and believe this as true from the depths of our being, we're going to see that everything that we accept will become a reality in our life. This is how we have manifested everything from day one. So find what feels best for you. Really just play around with different feelings and different scenarios and see what really is going to stick. And this goes hand in hand with the self-observation. This goes hand in hand with really paying attention and taking a look at the inner workings of our mind and seeing what makes us tick and what we are affirming as fact. The more that we do this, the easier it is to see where our resistance levels lie. And it's going to be easier and easier to cross over that threshold every time. So at the end of the day, just remember that there is no such thing as a big manifestation. The law works flawlessly in all areas of your life. Big, small, doesn't matter. When you struggle to manifest the thing that you want or the bigger desires, it's because you have formed a lot of resistance towards whatever that thing is. Do not look at it like it's something that you have to work harder towards. Remember that everything starts and stops with you. Everything in your reality was created by you. And you're going to see this through the observation. You're going to know this by really taking that objective look. And by taking those objective looks and seeing where you stand internally, you're going to be able to better gauge if you need to take things in smaller steps versus maybe making massive strides that are way outside of your scope of reason. If you take these steps, if you really take the time to go deep and you really take the time to see what feels comfortable and natural to you, you're going to manifest faster and faster. And then before you know it, this is just another way of life. And you'll be able to manifest anything you want. So I hope this video helped. If it did, do not forget to give it a thumbs up. And if you're interested in checking out any of my other resources, I will leave the links to one-on-one coaching, my blog, and my socials. So do not forget to check them out. Also, don't forget to check out these videos over here. Each video is a different topic, but it all pertains in how to manifest the very best life possible. So until next time, take care, be well, and never forget there is no big and small, because you are the God of your reality, and it all starts and ends with you. Happy manifesting, guys.